What's up? This is all from my phone, and guys, today I'm going to be doing the first part of my removal of the engine. Guys, first thing you got to do is unplug everything. So all your, plugs that you see around the car, disconnect those. Probably going to disconnect the throttle body. I might even take the intake manifold off just to get the harness out of the way. But I'm going to be going through this little by little and show you what I do step by step. Alright guys, so far you guys might have the cover that covers this whole thing, but you take the engine cover off, the plastic engine cover, and then once that's exposed, start unplugging all your coils, unplug all your fuel injectors, okay? Unplug your alternator, and this is going to be a 10 millimeter, I believe, on here. You guys, you can probably have some more stuff on your car because I deleted my air pump, and there's a lot of things on here that are off of here, and that I no longer have. Okay. And then, guys, there's, all sorts of plugs all over this engine. You're going to have to free this engine harness away from the motor. So, just pretty easy unplug stuff, okay? Another thing that I will tell you, these plugs, Toyotas are known for not having the best plugs. Over time, they can crack and they can break, so just be gentle but firm with these, because you can push the button and then pull and it won't come out just because, honestly, it's a crappy connector. A lot of these are going to be pretty hard on here, but don't be afraid of pulling on that. Just don't pull on the wire because you will pull it out of the plug. But as you can see, this one right here, I'm going to have to put my phone down. But anyways, a lot of these are very simple. They're just push down plugs. See the riveted area right there? You just push down and then pull. Easier said than done. It looks easy, but you'll see what I'm talking about when you start doing this on your own. They're a little bit of a pain in the butt. But guys, these vacuum hoses that go onto this, I'm going to be leaving the one for the PCV valve that goes to the intake connected, just so I don't confuse lines. This one is taped on to your evap system, your evaporative system. So I'm just gonna start disconnecting all this stuff, guys. Like I said, pretty straightforward stuff. Just unplug this harness until you can free it up out of the way, and it's free from the engine. I'm gonna continue doing that and show you what it looks like. Alright guys, so after you disconnect all the wiring, obviously I took the intake manifold off, but it's very simple. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me see if that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 bolts that go into the intake side. You're gonna have a very long one that comes out of here. Mine broke off in the head, so I'm gonna have to take that off. That's a old, I guess, old injury. Then you're gonna have a bolt here, a bolt there, and then a stud here, obviously, and then a bolt there. Those are 12 millimeter bolts. So take off the intake manifold. It makes it easier for you to reach all these harnesses that are running behind the intake manifold. And once you have that off, guys, the harness, becomes very accessible, and I'm gonna be able to push this harness to one side to pull this motor out. After that, guys, honestly, I'm gonna disconnect the AC lines, unbolt it from the transmission, and it'll pretty much be ready to take out. Obviously, I got to take out the bolts for the headers in the back there, but other than that, guys, this thing is going to be ready to come out pretty soon. I don't have the equipment to take it out at the moment, but this engine's doesn't seem to be very hard to take out, honestly, because once it's disconnected from the transmission, it should slide right out. But anyways, guys, I'll keep you posted and keep updating this video. Alright, guys, so here's what we got going on. I have the intake manifold off. This is actually a couple days later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the starter off, unbolt all the bolts for the transmission, and then go from there. Guys, unfortunately, your AC lines and all that's going to have to come off unless I do this in a different way. Because I could technically just unbolt the compressor if I take the belt off, so I don't have to evacuate the system. I think that is a better route, because I can just lay the... I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Instead of having to evacuate the system, I'm going to take the belt off, and then I am going to just lay down the compressor to the side here. I'll leave the alternator on because I'm not going to really have an issue with that. I'm going to take the motor out, and then I'll unbolt everything I need to unbolt, and if I have time, I will also drain the radiator, because that's going to have to get drained. Alright, get to it. Alright, guys, so to take off this belt, if you've never done a belt before, if you see through there, there is a 19 millimeter head, like a socket head. Let's see if it focuses. Right there, that's a 19 millimeter. You put your ratchet on there and ratchet forward or towards the right, so righty-tighty, and it will loosen the belt. So I have it on the nut here. Let me show you so you guys can see. There's a lot of stuff in the way. Alright, so you see, you don't see. Let me see. Alright, there it is, right there. So 19 millimeter. I have it just on a regular wrench. And guys, quick trick, so you're not fighting with that belt, I'm going to show you something. This will work. Take any sort of pipe. Let me zoom out. Any sort of pipe. Make this a little longer. This is going to be your setup. This way. Okay. And look. Minimal effort. You push this forward and it loosens that belt. Just to show you when I'm pulling on it. I don't know if you can see that in the... See how that belt jumps up? See it coming off the alternator right there? So you literally, guys, with minimal effort, you just extend your ratchet with a pipe and you're good to go. Alright, I'm going to take this belt off real quick. Alright, guys, so my phone ran out of battery while I was doing this, and I didn't have time to just stop and wait. So this is what I got done. Took the starter off, unbolted and unplugged every wiring harness that goes across the transmission this way, the slave cylinder, clutch slave cylinder, toss that to the side. The wiring harness, guys, I zip tied it to JDM, yo. I zip tied it to one of the wiper blades, and that should be sufficient enough out of the way for me to pull this motor out. I unbolted the the compressor from the engine block, so when that pulls out, I don't have to discharge the AC system. Took off the belt. You guys saw me do that at the beginning. What else did I do? So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Oh, the cruise control solenoid, I just kind of, or the servo, whatever you want to call it, I disconnected it from its mount. It's right down there. It's two 12mm bolts. Took that to the side. Yeah, so guys, my plan is, originally I was just going to unbolt the transmission from the engine and then take the engine out by itself. But then I started thinking, when I have to go back in with this thing, that's going to be a pain in the butt to put the engine into the transmission, and it was going to be a little more complicated than it should be. So what I'm going to do is take the axles out, pull the transmission and the engine together out. To do so, I'm going to have to tilt this transmission to the right if you're looking at the engine. So to your driver's side, you have to kind of tilt it this way and then bring the engine out. Oh yeah, I took off the hood too. There it is. So yeah, guys, it looks like a lot, but if you know what you're doing and you've done this before, it's not that bad, honestly. The engine pretty much is ready to come out. I just have to unbolt the mounts, the front mount, that one, and the rear mount are already disconnected from the car, and the rear mount is really just for the transmission, so the engine isn't even bolted to that. But since I am taking the transmission out, I'm gonna have to take that off. What's the other thing that I was trying to think of? Yeah, so I'm gonna try to do this without having to do like an entire like if I'm doing a clutch, you would have to take the subframe down and stuff like that. I'm gonna try to do this so I don't have to do all that, and we'll see how it goes. But anyways, the last thing I have to do for the motor is the heater hoses. I have to disconnect this heater hose here, and then this one back here that runs to the front of this silver little piping that runs the front of the engine. The silver piping is going to stay on the motor when I pull it out. So this silver piece is going to stay when I pull it out. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for right now. I'm going to get the cherry picker here pretty soon. I'm borrowing it from a friend, and I'll have this engine out. Like you guys can see, and I've already said, it seems pretty easy. This mount, I'm probably going to take off the transmission, so it just gives me more, I can bring the engine and transmission this way a little better. But I'm thinking it's going to be pretty easy, guys. It's not going to be too hard. So I'm excited to have this thing out and break it apart and start messing with it. It's going to be cool. But anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Still need your help, guys. I'm going to keep leaving the PayPal. Nobody's put any sort of donation on there. And honestly, guys, if I don't get anything, this car is going to get stuff done to it either way. But every little bit helps. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit you up on the next one. Peace out.